sheriff about the terrible tragedy that took place in Oakdale. And as the president pointed out, thousands of youth lost their lives. Most gun violence just recently. We deserve a vote on it. We need to find a common ground on this. And I'm not going to give up on making our community safer. And that means, working towards gun safety, background checks. We need to do what we can so that our children know that if they're in the car with their mom, going home from preschool, they're in a grade school, they're in a playground, they're in their community, that they're not going to be victims of senseless acts of violence because we as a society haven't acted to try to save lives.
People have been talking a lot that background checks are probably the one issue that will garner support across the aisle. Is that enough for you if that were what made it into a final piece of legislation?
We need background checks. We need to talk about why we are talking about smaller capacity of magazines. That was something that came up at the town hall meeting where I had NRA members stand up and say, I don't agree with everything the NRA is talking about, which means, do nothing. We need to do something. He came up with some ideas and he challenged all of us in the room to come together as a community to limit the number of deaths caused by guns. And as the president said, we're not going to stop and prevent every death. But we can't let the perfect become the enemy of the good. We can do something to reduce the number of deaths, the number of empty chairs around the dining room table. That should be our goal. And so I really hope that we talk about background checks, we talk about helping people with mental illness, whether that can mean preventing suicide. There's a lot we can agree on. There's a lot we can do. We deserve a vote on this. We absolutely deserve a vote.
Were there any economic proposals in the speech that you thought are good and should be pursued?
I really like the way the president once again laid out a well-rounded approach. We cannot cut our way to prosperity. We need to invest. We need to invest in our infrastructure. We just had that huge water main break in St. Paul. We've had the tragedy of a bridge collapse. We need to do something about our everyday infrastructure. But I was meeting with businesses when I was back just the past couple days, and they're talking about what we need to do to invest in education for the workforce and what we need to do to invest in the high-check, high-paying jobs that they're out there ready. They're ready to move this economy forward on. So there's so much to do, and Congress needs to just get to work and do it. I think that was the president's biggest message: get to work, do something. And I'm not going to leave here till we get something done. So I hope the House brings up some legislation that we can vote on: jobs, the economy, infrastructure, moving America forward, and keeping America safer by reducing gun violence.